Phil, what's going on? Jill's back. Nate's here. Tyler's back. And we got Jay in the building. What's going on, guys? I'm going to give everybody a couple more seconds here to jump in. The call yesterday went freaking amazing. I'm really bummed it didn't record. Feel free to drop any questions or anything you want to talk about in the chat. Eagle is here. Don't want to repeat myself too much from yesterday, but I was excited to have that recorded. Since I don't now, I might just have to repeat myself. Yes, I'm actually really recording this call this time. Normally it always records. I just bad lapse there. Had a cloud recording was full right at the wrong time. So yeah, yesterday I went over a little bit about how we started the pit bulls and how this whole thing came to be, and then we kind of gave a quick overview of vision and different programs we offer. Pulled my notes from yesterday, and I won't forget nothing. So if you were here yesterday, this might be kind of boring. What did you guys think of the Fed meeting? Everybody watch it. I thought Kevin Warsh sounded like a total prick, personally. He just seemed so smart. He seemed way too happy to be there. I like the guy. He's a smart guy. He's a douche. I felt like I was talking to no, I shouldn't go there. I won't go there. Leave it alone. All right, we got 7. I guess we're recording anyway. Screw it. So I even went to re-record it last night. I re-recorded it and my screen was like freaking out the whole time, tweaking on the recording, and I'm like, screw it, I got nothing. So hopefully this one comes through. But anyways, welcome guys. I think we got a lot of new faces here. I know Joe's kind of new. Tyler's kind of Bill's kind of new. I don't know who Eagle is, but I'm assuming he's new. So it's flashing now. Are you fucking kidding me? Why? Why does this happen to me? That's what happened on the recording too yesterday. I don't know why it does that. And it would just chill out at times as well. So hopefully we get something worth using here. But anyways, I am the Pitbull of Wall Street. I am the Chief Investment Officer here at Pitbull Capital, and been doing this around 10 years now. Been sharing Pitbull Capital with others for 6 years, well, over 6 years now. So what happened was how it all came to be. It's the last time I'm telling this story, so I'll try and make it short though. Uh, Basically, COVID hit. Everybody got some checks in the mail. Market started going wild. It was crashing for a while, so everybody's paying attention with the crash. And then it was bouncing and ripping once they dropped interest rates. And everybody suddenly has some extra money. Interest rates are at nothing. The market's going wild. Everything's going straight up. So I'm having a great time being in markets before this and having kind of a boring market for a while, and then having a raging market, a raging bull market for 2 years there was a ton of fun. And posting all my fun on my social media and everybody seeing it, and people are asking me constantly what I'm doing, how I'm getting these results, how I'm getting these trades. And so that's what made me put the Telegram together, throw everybody in a group, give me a way to systematize it and reach more people at once, or at least everybody who's interested at once, and not just have to share trades one at a time with people in Facebook Messenger and stuff. And slowly but surely, people were telling their friends. We were just growing and growing and growing. Back then, what I would do is I would just dump all of my trades in one alert room. So everybody would just see every trade I got. And I had didn't always give that great of an explanation. I wasn't like saying UVXY is a bonus trade and needs a smaller allocation. It's a hedge. You just want to put a little bit in there. That'll protect your other plays. Here's why, and da, da, da. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. But we had a large variety of education levels there and trade experience level there. Everything from other professional traders to people who had never traded a day in their life and everything in between. So because of that, people got really hooked on it at first when things were going straight up and everything was going perfect. But then as I saw the results of people taking all of my trades without knowing what they were doing, I saw people getting wrecked, blowing their accounts, and I pretty much just shut it all down. And people who were already with me, who had actually learned the systems and learned the strategies and learned about markets, or who were already professional traders, or who knew what they were doing, that's kind of what our group became, is just a very small, tight group of people who already knew what they were doing. We'd share plays with each other and things like that, but it wasn't me broadcasting my trades to people who didn't know as much. Fast forward, that's 2022, also my first losing year, my only losing year of the past 6 years. So um, that's 2022. Lose a ton of members, and then now 4 years later, we finally built it to the point where I am comfortable advertising it to the masses. Because what we've done is we've taken all the strategies that I've ever used, not ever, all the strategies that I currently use that make sense, that are successful, that I have in my brain, and I've been able to program different AI systems to be able to find trades the same way I would, but it takes a lot less effort, and I can have it send it automatically. I don't have to type it out. So certain trades like zero DTE trades, a lot of those times you got to be fast. So if I had to type out everything about every trade, you might miss it, or it might just not make sense by the time it gets to you. So we put everything into systems. And that's why you see the different programs. That's why I don't just blast out all my trades on one channel. And a lot of these different programs, I'm not even necessarily taking the trades. So like today, I told everybody I'm chilling. It's Fed day. There's a new Fed chair. I am not the one that is going to sit around playing in markets today. I'm going to take some profits and hang tight and sit on my hands. Did some stuff with my son and his football recruiting stuff. He's about to go to college, or not about to go to college, he's about to go to junior high school, but trying to get that scholarship to college. So we worked on some of that stuff, watching the markets in the background, just hanging out, relaxing. So that's my spiel for how it all started and why it is broken down the way it is. And now what we've done is we're kind of releasing things slowly as they make sense. So Pit Power Plays was the first to come out because Pit Power Plays work for everybody. You cannot go wrong with Pit Power Plays. It's the service I would recommend to my mother. It's the service I would tell my wife to jump in trades for, my kids, everybody. You can't go wrong. You don't need a whole lot of knowledge base there. You just have to be able to enter a trade and exit a trade and look at your phone once in a blue moon. So that one is for everybody, and that's why if you ever see our ads, or if that's how you found us, you probably found us through an ad for that, or I recommended that, or whatever. From there, so let me just start by doing a quick overview of Vision itself. And if anybody could tell me in the chat if it's still flashing and tweaking out, that'd be great because I might spend less time on it. Yes, it still is. That's annoying. Wonder what the solution here is. Let me try something. Wonder if it's just got so much shit. I have a freaking tank running back of this thing. So much horsepower. Let's just see if I put it on this screen. Okay, do you guys see like Benzinga right now? And is that screen flashing? No flash. All right, here's the deal breaker. Let's see if this works. Yeah, those gray boxes drive me nuts. That's something to do with Zoom, I think. Probably because I have the chat open right in the middle of my screen. Chat on the other screen. Okay, now is it flashing on vision? Jackpot. Okay, so I put it on. I have to put it on this tiny little screen that I can't see very well, but I'll do what it takes for you guys here. So if I can't blow this shit up at all. I guess not. We'll get the mobile view. Sure, why not? At least it's not flashing. I'll take it. All right, so if you enter Vision right away, let me see if this takes the gray box off too. You enter Vision right away. Notice we got these notifications up here, but if it's your first time in here,
Like rest of the week is going to be pretty good.
if it's your first time in here, so these top four boxes here, these are all included for free. So today's top stock is going to give you a breakdown, maybe. There we go. I can't believe this, baby. We bought $110 calls for 20 cents in the options lottery run this week. And those babies are like $2,000 right now. Something insane. That is the craziest, luckiest return I've seen in a while. But you can add it to your watch list. You can open a full analysis on it. Morning pit, join the free market prep room, all that. That's just if you're in here for free. And we got the PM pit as well as your market regime risk off. So this is based on Markov regime. If you don't know anything about it, learn about it. It's basically how most hedge funds are going to trade around trend. Maybe I'll do a video on that when we have more time someday. Gives you market bias, top stock. You can see the charts for the top stock. Put together your own watch list here, however you want. And then news stories that are breaking news, earnings calendar, economic calendar, basic stuff you would get with most platforms, but putting it all in one place for you. So that's the top stock in the command center. Founders program is going to be how you can earn stuff for free. So if you want like our unusual option scanner or anything like that, you just go in here. This actually just gives you a quick update of your points. You're going to earn more points. And then it's going to give you your missions here. And you can unlock different stuff for free. So you just by referring people, posting screenshots, being active in the chats. I think you get a point for following the learning modules and things like that. And just for even opening Vision in a day, you can click uh, add a point for opening the morning watch list and things like that. And then bonus missions if you're referring friends, sharing screenshots, posting your wins, posting testimonials, submitting a useful feature. So if there's something that I'm missing here and you're like, oh, I use this other platform and it has this great idea where they do this, that, and the next thing, and you submit that, that'll get you a point. If you find a bug, if you're like, hey, every time I go into the turtle pit, it's tweaking, it's flashing out, whatever, that'll get you a point. So just different ways for me to get people active, get them engaged, get them not hear my dog barking, get active, get engaged, find stuff, learn stuff, do the stuff we want you to do, like learning and all that good stuff here. So that's the founders portal, and you can unlock uh, free alerts. The final one that you can get is like $100 off a service. So if you do enough in there, you can get $100 towards anything you want. And a lot of our trials are less than $100, so easy for you. If you're in pit power plays, so if you're not, or if you're in a service, let's say you paid for a service and you open this up and you don't have access, click on the service you paid for, and then click on the already bought here, request access, and that'll send an access request and we'll unlock it for you within 24 hours. On the other hand, if you're not a member of a service, but you want to try it out, that'll be on the other side. You can click right into that. Just opened up on my other screen, so you probably can't see it. But that'll allow you to enter any new services that you want to check out there. Any questions so far, guys? Feel free to drop anything in the chat you want to talk about, go over, anything you want me to dive deeper into, let me know. And also let me know if you can still see my screen good because I just made it fill the other screen. So pit power plays, like I said, this is what I recommend. And if I'm looking down, looking silly because my other screen's below me on my desk, like for this one that I'm doing here. I look crazy. Oh well. Right, so Pit Power Play is going to have our closed performance up here. So we got 45 winners, 3 losers, 93.8% win rate. So this is why this is the service that I'm comfortable recommending to my mother or anyone. If you would have invested $2,500 on every single trade we've done here, you would have made a $31,000 return in the past, little under a year. Recent winners here. And then our most recent trade here. If you want to see what we've closed, or maybe you can't find a trade, you can go to closed power plays, pull those up here. And then for like that founders portal, if you're in here, let's say you had that Bank of America trade and you took that trade, you hit generate proof card, and then you could enter what you exited at. Maybe you got a slightly different exit, and then open screenshot view. It'll pop up like a nice little proof card looking thing. And you could post that as your screenshot to get those points in the founders portal there. So that's Pit Power Plays. I think almost everybody in here has that. How far back does Pit Power Plays go at 90% plus was Phil's question. So we started this tracking as about 9 months ago, about 9 months worth of tracking there. The strategy in general has rough tracking back 3 years, but I don't. This tracking is perfect. I know it's super accurate. Nothing's wrong there, so I don't want to claim the 3 year one, but definitely a solid 9 months of perfect tracking. That being said, though, I would push back. I get it that that makes it appealing, but I would push back on the idea that that's appealing because you can have a strategy that wins 1% of the time and be enormously successful. And you can have a strategy that wins 99% of the time and be a huge failure. So that sounds good to beginners. I get that. It makes you feel a little bit more confident with the program and things like that, which is great. But profit factor matters more. What you do with it matters more at the end of the day. That's a great point, Phil. Phil said I asked because I've had strategies that have been really good for 9 months and then tanked, and that is most strategies. But that is not. That would be this strategy if we picked one stock and traded it. So if we just traded SPY, and when it pulled back to the AEMA, we bought the bounce, and that was what we did every time, every Monday. That would not work. But because we're able to, in a more tense environment like it is recently, where stocks that have been trending straight up are now going straight down, like Nvidia or Micron, um, we can switch it up and be trading Bank of America and Dr. Pepper because those are safer trades that people are going to be staying in an uptrend through a time like this. So since we have that discretion, that's where the discretion comes in with pit power plays and why it works there. So some of the other strategies, and at the end of the day, there are strategies that work all the time. It just they all require some discretion. There's no non-discretionary strategy that you can program in an algorithm, just run it and it'll work forever. There was, or there is, I don't know, to my knowledge. Um, so that's pit power plays, and then zero DTE is kind of so two main types of traders in the world are going to be day traders or swing traders, right? And two main types of people in the world are going to be people who have time to stare at a screen all day and trade, and people who got very little time to trade or be around screens while markets are open at least. And so this is kind of the service that we released first for each of these. With the zero DTE, I might have to log into my other account. I might have it. So it's account. Hey, the market's open this time, so it'll actually give us stuff too. I did it last time right after the market close. We're going PM quick. I'm glad I got this quick. For zero DTE, what this does is we program all the criteria that I would use to look for trades in the morning and in the afternoon in the back end here. So really I did it for myself first, so I didn't have to go looking for these trades. It takes up a ton of time. It eats your profit up when you're looking for trades all day and you're not actually able to just sit down and know what to trade. So that's why I built this in the first place, and then it just became useful and easy for anybody else as well. So it's going to rank the number one trades for the day, AM and PM. This is the PM list, and the AM has different criteria than the PM. The PM trades have been great, especially if you have a small account, because they have a very high win rate and they're cheap. So like a lot of the PM options are going to be 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. And those are going to have really nice returns. We've got about an 80, 90% win rate on these. Now, the win rate with these depends completely on your discretion, because if you were to get out at 50%, like a 50% return on these, you would have like an 87 to a 90% win rate somewhere in there. If you were to get out at 100%, though, your win rate would drop to 60 to 70%. And if you were to try to get out at 150%, your win rate would drop to like 20, 30%. Like I said, though, there are times that win rate means nothing. Profit factor is all that really matters. That's actually always. But there are times when, let's just say you were holding until you made 500%, and that only happened 30% of the time. Well, you would make more than the guy who was holding them to 50%, 80% of the time. So that's why that win rate is less important than you think. But this gives you the ranked system, the ranked plays. That's what May's been using, is just there. But then we also have a Telegram that I'll run through really quick at the end as well. So you can see it gives an alert in the morning and an alert in the afternoon. So the Telegram alerts for the zero DT are 2 alerts a day. I'm gonna pop up. I might have to pop up Vision on my other screen real quick so I can log in and open up my son's access here on his account. Any questions, I'll drop them in the chat so I can know. Then I'll give you guys what I see. So, or if you're on a short time and you want me to go over any of these specifically, let me know too. We got the turtle pit, the smart money pit, and the momentum pit are the last three here that I haven't discussed much. I don't advertise these at all or tell anybody about them. Oh, real quick though, if you ever need to find anything, so if you ever signed up for something you can't find it, if you go to home or the module map, but the module map would be on home too. This My Vision and module map are fully customizable, so you can add whatever modules you buy. You can subtract whatever you don't want to look at anymore. For sure, man. We'll put out, but My Vision is going to have all that. We'll have the weekly calls on here now, the Founders Program, Ask Vision. But the module map has this search bar up here. So let's just say you bought Pit Power Plays, easy, Pit, search bar. Actually, there's a bunch of pits, so that's probably going to bring more stuff. But AM Pit, PM Pit. But if you search power, boom, there you go, Pit Power Plays. And then for the signals, it has, I don't know why it has a velocity scanner in there because it's a the word power in it, but you can search for only what you have unlocked, search for only alerts. So that's an easy way to find anything. People keep telling me this is chaotic. It's usually people who just look at it once or twice and don't dig in too much, but it shouldn't be chaotic. If it is, and you have any ideas how to not make it chaotic, please let me know. But these four, like I said, these are free, and then the rest is usually permission based. If we don't have any specific requests for any to go through, I'll just keep going down the line here. I'll make sure. So in my vision, this will be like your dashboard, your front dashboard. You want to come down. Any of your alerts that you want will be in here. But one of the most important pieces is this learning. So go into the learning center, and then all the topics that you can think of here, I'll constantly be adding to this too. This is definitely an evolving piece. But it has stuff on vision and how to use it. It has stuff on options, everything from Nathan, everything from terminology to videos to all the basics, everything you need to know about options here, and one-on-one options here is like a master class on options, what's called, what's puts, a little bit diving into spreads and deltas and thetas and all that good junk. Trading basics, the trading psychology. If you do nothing else, jump in this and study trading psychology. The art of not trading, why it pays not to trade. Wyckoff is my dude. Big fan of Wyckoff. And Trading in the Zone, probably one of the greatest books. I found you a free audiobook version of Trading in the Zone. You should listen to this constantly. If you haven't read it, read it, listen to it, learn it. Very necessary. And then the swing trading portion is going to have, I'll add a day trading portion soon. The swing trading portion, though, has pit power plays, how to play those, has the turtle traders. If you don't know the story of the turtle traders, you have to go watch this video. It's a great story. Could be you. It's called the $100 million strategy. They turned $5,000 into $100 million, and they were retail traders with no experience. So, give you some hope. Following a very strict strategy, and I guess that's a good bridge here into the turtle pit. So the turtle pit is the area that I would probably, if somebody is doing pit power plays and they're like, I love this, I'm getting the hang of it, this is great, I want more, I have a little extra time, or I like that this doesn't take much time, I want something else that does not going to take that much time, I would recommend the turtle pit. Very similar to pit power plays. It's going to give you 3 trades a week instead of 1. It's going to give you trades on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday around 2 p.m. and going to follow the original Turtle Traders, but updated and upgraded to be ours. So it's going to give you, this is the pit for it, the dashboard for it, where you can see. So it's not just going to give you those trades Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's what it's going to send alerts to in Telegram. But if you join the program, you'll get this pit as well, which is going to give you alerts for, you can go in here every day if you want. You can go in here 2 times a day if you want, however you want. Oh my gosh, Nate, you know Meta has earnings? Lord have mercy. Don't play earnings. You should not don't fuck around. Remember what happened? So one time, good story, guys. Sorry, Nate's distracting me. He knows I'm ADD and he's doing it on purpose. No, but one time when Meta decided to go all in on their glass things, what was that thing called? I forget. But they had earnings and they dropped to $90. This was probably somewhere between 2021 and 2023. It was somewhere. It's one of my greatest trades of all time because of the amount of conviction that I have. Yeah. So Meta dropped to $90, and I posted everywhere I could find, told everyone with an ear to go take out a second mortgage, get loans from the bank, sell your children, sell a kidney, whatever you can do. Put all of your money into $90 Meta Leaps for like a year out, buy as much as you can. And if you would have done it, you would have paid off all your mortgages, paid off all your debt, and been able to buy 10 extra kidneys for the future because, well, a year later, Meta was well over $200. And so you were 100x in anything you put in that play. it didn't take a year. We were out of that plan a couple months or a couple weeks after that. But I called the bottom on Meta like no other. I called the bottom during COVID like no other, and I called the bottom on Meta like no other. So my claim to fame, I guess. Okay, sorry. Shut up, Nate. Distracted. Um, AMC too. I called that. I called AMC when everybody was focused on GameStop. I was calling AMC. Everybody missed it. We were in it. Pennies. Rose that baby from $1 to 60. Anyways, back focused. So the turtle pit is going to give you strong setups based around the turtle strategy. It's a breakout strategy and it's a trend trading strategy. It's a momentum trading strategy. It's going to rank them based on everything. And then it's going to give you the best option to buy to trade this strategy. Or if you prefer a cheaper method, less upside, but cheaper, it's going to give you a spread. So a debit spread, and I'll start making videos on these when I release the program fully to everybody. You guys who are already in other rooms can get first dibs though. So it gives you the current price, entry area, invalidation price. It's essentially like a stop loss level, and then an entire trading plan around any alert that you want. So like I said, you can come in there in this portion anytime. You can jump in here on Monday morning. You can jump in here on Friday evening, whatever. The alerts are going to send to Telegram Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but it's there for you anytime you want. It tells you the official trend failure exit. So the invalidation level is just saying like this is not a clean breakout anymore. So that's probably where you want to set a stop loss. The true turtle trader method, but they were trading stocks long term, not options. But the true turtle trader method is going to be the trend failure exit would be your stop. And the true exit of this is the 10-day low, essentially the low of the last 10 days. So if it keeps going up for 3 years and then has a bad one day and it breaks the most recent 10-day low, that's when you would exit. And they would hold those trades for that. Since we're trading options, we won't. So that's where this becomes a little different. But then if you go down to the recommended contracts in the trade plan here, it's going to give you a small account version, a balanced approach, and a high roll approach. These looked a little too similar yesterday, so let's make sure they're not. Good. Perfect. And then you see it's going to give you debit spread up here, naked call here for balanced. High roller is going to be the most expensive version, but it looks like 340 there. So yeah, it just goes a little bit deeper in the money. I like that spread more than the balance one though. And it's because it's at 55, a little deeper. So actually a little bit safer spread there, cheaper too. Sorry, ADD. But there's more plays than just Apple. So you got Apple, you got Airbnb here, and it'll give you all these options for any one of these. Anytime you come in here, and there could be times when you come in here and there's nothing here. That's happened before. It's rare, but it happens. And if the market goes to shit, you'll come in here and you'll see the breakdowns. You'll see breakdown after breakdown after breakdown. Also make 200% zero. All right, so that's the turtle pit. Watch the turtle strategy and the turtle trading videos in the learning module, and you'll be blown away. It's a very interesting story. Then the smart money pit. So smart money pit has something sweet getting added to it soon. The smart money pit is I'm working on a poly market tracker. So what's been happening, I don't know if any of you guys follow like insider trading or unusual options activity or any of this stuff, but that stuff's easy to get busted doing if you're a sneaky one. But poly market and the betting markets for this stuff are regulated next to nowhere with next to nothing. So you can get away with a lot more insider trading on poly market essentially. So I'm setting up this um, betting market tracker thing that's going to find the biggest wallets with the most money. It has all this criteria. I'm not going to go into all of it. But it has all this criteria on the back end where it's going to find these certain bets to look at that are going to help us place trades. And it's going to probably go straight into the smart money pit. It just fits here. Because right now, what the smart money pit does is it's going to track insider trading and it's going to track political trading. So the political trading, you go on the capital trade tracker, tells you the most bought stock by Congress, the most sold stock by Congress, and the most active politician. If you just want to see Senate, House, partial sales, sells, buys, you can whittle it down there yourself. Um, Microsoft has earnings right now. You guys think they beat? Is Microsoft ripping right now? Anybody want to look for me? Oh, there's a chart here. You don't have to. Nope. Unless this is regular session. Standard. Well, they're pulling back now. So maybe Congress didn't know too much on this one. Let's go Microsoft. I thought they would be ripping. But the first earnings reaction doesn't mean anything. Anyways, so there's Microsoft is the most bought right now. Or no, that was just the top one here. But you can go through all these. They're buying Meta, buying Microsoft, and you can see how much they're buying, how much they're paying. You can add these to your watch list. So these are all relatively small trades. None of these stand out to me. There, that stands out. But water and sewer, you could tell this guy's just trying to buy something safe with his retirement. You got to look for what really stands out here. So what's going to find that though? What's going to find what really stands out is that's why we put it together. So you got your capital trade tracker, and then you got your corporate insiders buying trade tracker here, and then your piggyback scanner. And the piggyback scanner is going to look for confluence between these two and unusual options activity. So it's going to look at insider trades, capital trades, and unusual options activity. And the way those alerts come out, it sends based on it has to have at least two lining up, and then we'll add the poly market in there too. And so that'll be sweet. It'll have to line up with two still, but you'll probably have more alerts coming out. And then the momentum pit. I don't even know what I haven't even gotten into this too much. So it's got your orb scanner. This is going to find range breaks for you. It's got the telegram room. So this is going to give you 4 trades a day. Cheaper trades, and I'll go into all the rooms here in a second and show you what they look like, what the trades look like in there. These are cheaper. And it gives you a day trade option and a swing trade option for each of them. But it's focused around different times of day. So the 9:40, the 9:30 to the 9:45 range break, the opening range break there. And then there's a continuation one later in the day that it sends an alert for. And what's it send? Continuation, 9:30, 9:45, at 1 p.m. It sends a high of day. So it'll see if anything broke the high of day or the low of the day. Sends that, and then it's monitoring for any pre-market breaks that happen after 11 as well. So you usually get about 4 trades. Sometimes it'll only send one. If the market was really choppy or not doing much for the day, it would only send 1, 2, or 3. Just depends, but up to 4. So that's the momentum pit. I think that's about it right now that we have to offer here, and I'll dive in these rooms in a second. Any questions before I jump in the rooms? Does everybody see Telegram stuff on the screen? And is it tweaking out again and flashing? All good. Fantastic. Glad you got a chance to hang with us too, D-White. Thought you was out the door. All right, not a bad one here. The zero DTE hit. So first one we'll see is the zero DTE room, I guess. And so this is what the zero DTE alerts look like. We give the exact contract, rank setup, score, 35 out of 100. So this was kind of like a, it probably scored lower because of the FOMC today. Invalidation level, so where you can place a stop loss, the reason, and then any extra notes as well. So that AM alert, let's see, the AM one hit real nice today. 200% return there. If you would have just held it to the close. So I have the way I have these tracked, since I didn't even trade these, like I said, if I wanted to enter them all and trade them all, I could, but that would be a nightmare for me personally. Um, the way I have these tracked in my little tracker is it's going to give you the entry that we get. It's going to tell you the lowest point that it hit throughout the day. So these babies hit 3 cents at some point today. Can you imagine getting in at 3 cents? That was a 200% return on 71 cents. So I don't that math is a bit much for me right now, but it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a big return. So that's the lowest to hit though, and that's the highest to hit. So it's going to tell you the lowest, the highest, and the close. And the reason I have it track this is it gives you an idea going forward. It's going to give us more and more data so that we can say, if you said so right now, here's what I recommend or what I do. I don't make recommendations. It's not financial advice. What I do is I'll enter a three-tier position. So if it was a more expensive option, that might only be three contracts. If it was something cheaply, a 71 cent option here, that's probably going to be like 30 contracts. And so 10 of those contracts, let's use the 30 just for ease. I guess three would probably be easier. Use three for ease. So if I had three contracts, it hits 50%. I'm selling one. I'm holding the other two. And then I move my stop loss up to a 50% profit. And so now the least amount I can make is 50%. And then my next target is 75%. And then I sell the second one at 75%. And then I move my last one, stop loss up to 75%. And then top target's 150%. But if it goes to 100% and then comes back to 75%, it's going to hit that stop loss, and I'll have ended up closing one for 50% and then two for 75%. Or it could go up to 74% and then come back down to 50%, and then all three would have been closed out for 50%. But based on the tracking that I'm doing, I'm going to perfect that over time so we get the best profit factor long term. So if you're seeing that these are, if every single one, this won't happen, but let's just pretend, let's just say every single alert hit 200% and went to zero by the close, I would know that we absolutely have to get out by 200% or it's going to go to zero. If every single alert closed up 100%, I would say you can hold everything to the close. It's totally fine. But that type of data over time will help us perfect our entries and exits. Right now, what I do, and if you want to follow me, I do pretty well, is profit at 50%, 75%, and 150%, and a trailing stop loss at each one of those targets as they pass through it so that I'm never losing. We got another guy in the room who sets his targets for 20% on all of them. And so this is why win rate doesn't matter as much. It's a great example of why win rate doesn't matter as much because he was just getting all the alerts and just buying everything. And one of these babies came out expensive as shit. Now, I put some settings in here for that not to happen again. But so this one was a loss right here. And this is SPX, right? 835, $835. So let's just say that he was risking $1,500 a trade, or he was buying two contracts and didn't even have that much insight into it. Let's just say he was buying two contracts. He would have lost $1,700 dang near right there on those two contracts. And let's say he's taking 20% on everything and he's still buying two contracts. Well, he would have made 20% on this on two contracts and 20% on this, and he'd be penny pinching his wins. And he might have a 95, 99% win rate of penny pinching wins at 20% on a zero DTE. But then the ones he's losing 100% on cost 10 times as much, and his profit factor could be negative. He could be losing money with a 90% win rate. And that's why I say win rate doesn't matter as much. It's more of a way to show you that we're not stupid and that we know what we're doing when we brag about or post our win rates anywhere. It's more of us just saying, like, look, we know what we're doing. We're not going to pull a bunch of losers for you. You don't have to worry about us being the next guy. So that's the zero DTE pit. You guys should all be in this trader chat. If you're not, please do. I did, Steve. Sorry. Turtle pit. These are what those alerts will look like when they come from the turtle pit. So it's going to give you the bias, it gives you the score, invalidation level, a lot of the information that you already saw on the scanner. But if you want to be more active in Telegram, or if you want to get an alert, phone dinging with it, you want to know what everybody's trading, you can look here as well. So it's going to give you the spread and the long call for the best option at that time. Okay, power plays. I think most of you guys are in here. Biggest thing with pit power plays is knowing the allocation. So bonus trades, I use 10% of the amount that I use for regular power plays. That's the most important factor here because bonus trades do not have as high of a win rate as, hey, Steve's here, as power plays. And is that all? Oh, the smart money pit. So this is a cool one because you'll see the smart money pit. It'll give you the ticker, direction, how much confidence, and then kind of the institutional alignment. So this one, oh, that's so the slingshot scanner is actually finding the setups. So that's what's cool about this is it's going to use the piggyback scanner. The piggyback scanner is going to be capital trade tracker and insider buying. So if insiders are buying and people on Capitol Hill, politicians are buying, that's going to pop up in the piggyback scanner. The slingshot is going to pop up when it's a good setup, and the pit flow is going to have unusual options activity. So for J&J, we've got unusual options activity and a good setup. So that looks like a good call there. If the piggyback was lit up too, you could have even more confidence in that. But I think if you went into the smart money pit on Vision, I'm not mistaken, I saw politicians buying J&J recently, but it probably didn't hit the piggyback because I think for the piggyback it has to be politicians and insiders. So that's that. Any questions though, guys? Just went over a ton of stuff. Momentum pit is last but not least. So these are the I still this now trade. It's gonna be Jones and that trade was nuts. But so I kind of have the least amount of data on tracking these. I just started tracking these, but it's a very common, popular, famous, well-known strategy that most new traders trade, and most people suck at trading anyways. So this will definitely help you do it smarter if you're already trading it for sure. These both printed really nice at one point today, I know. Cheaper options to enter. So the day trade that it'll give you is usually nice cheap call or put there, but then the swing trade is a spread. So you're risking 21 cents to make 50. Looking for 100% return, looking for it to blow through both strikes in the next week. So it's going to give you a day trade and a spread option for these. These are just momentum breakouts. They're really meant to day trade, but I know not everybody can day trade. So the range break, continuation, high low, break of the day. I just started. I put some ads out for these. I couldn't get my ads approved for the zero DTE on Facebook or anything. So it's like screw it. I'll just try doing it for this because I guess Facebook hates the words zero DTE for some reason. So I tried promoting this just to see if it would work, and it did. So I got a couple bucks flying out there with these on some ads. Any questions? No questions. Everybody has questions all the time. You got me here. Might as well ask them. You got some. Anything you guys want to see more of? Anything you're interested in checking out? Drop it in the chat. If anybody wants to unmute themselves, they can. Nothing. All right. Well, hope you're all still awake. Hopefully, I haven't put y'all to sleep. But
Or
that's what I
we
got
can't,
for you
I have
guys.
a question.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Fantastic.
we can't, I'll show my face so you see me. We can't join the other ones yet, like the Momentum Pit and Turtle. I mean, I think I texted you separately and you said they're not available for new people yet. Or can I go
So
in and join those?
you can go ahead and join those. I My main thing is the pit power plays that I'll advertise to everybody. I'm super confident in those to the point where I don't have to speak to you before giving them to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to give you any warnings or teach you about them or anything like that. If you want to sit here and tell me I've been trading this, I know what I'm doing, I'm comfortable with it. Like most people are grabbing the zero DTE, and I just kind of talk to them a little bit, make sure that they've day traded a little bit, and it's a 30-day trial. So with that one, try it for 30 days, and people don't like it, they don't like it. So you can find out if it's a good fit pretty quick. I've pretty much opened all of these, so you can go in and do trials of them if you want. I just want to do that with the disclaimer of with Pit Power Plays, I have 9 months of perfectly tracked trades. Every single entry, time stamped. Like no one can say I'm making this stuff up. You could just go in the alert room and scroll up and see every entry, every exit tracked. With these, we don't have as much of that, so it's harder for me to say. Um, I can say what the strategy is and works. Like the turtle trade strategy has been around for 40 years and it works. The range break strategy is something that people trade all the time and it works if you know how to work it. It can also get you wrecked if you don't know how to work it though. So that's why I'm just cautious. We don't do this because we want people to buy a bunch of stuff from us. We do this because trading is kind of lonely. It's nice to have a cool community to be a part of and talk to people. And I like teaching. I love talking about markets. My wife never wants to hear about it. So I got you guys, you know. So I don't ever want to lead you astray. Like I said, the reason that we broke these all apart is because if I just gave you every trade, you could get yourself in trouble fast. So let me just ask you this: like, how long have you been trading?
20 years.
20 years. You're probably equipped to handle any of these, you know?
Yeah, well,
And
I'm newer to options. I've always done
okay,
futures and regular, just stocks. And so I've been doing options for about 6 months now, and I
cool.
really like them better than futures. So seems like a good fit for me.
Why do you like them better than futures?
I don't know. I just like the leverage. I like the start and finish. I like that they have an expiration date. I like that on the directionals you have a limited loss. I mean, there's a lot, you can do with the spreads and in futures it's kind of like the Wild West compared to that because you might get a huge move like we saw in Meta, but on a future where you lose, 20, 30, $40,000
Yeah,
and you can't get
yeah.
out
I
moving that fast. I mean, the
I like
stops don't work.
options because I don't have to set stop losses. That's probably my favorite thing. I trade futures too. I
Mhm.
trade futures. I have a couple setups in futures that I trade. And I'm actually working on adding a futures pit as well. The problem with futures is, so the data that I'm pumping into Vision right now cost me $30,000 a year, which isn't terrible. When I add futures, it costs me like 100 to 250,000 a year. Like you're getting
Jeez.
into some like houses. You're paying houses
Yeah.
for that data.
Wow.
So I'm trying to figure out how to build that in a way that makes sense. And I wanted to build up our users first. So if we get a bunch of people in here, we might do like a little futures challenge or something and add futures into it as well. Because I do have some really cool setups to teach you guys that I love. I love trading earnings on futures. So when you can't trade Meta right now or Microsoft, the market's reacting anyways. I love that because it's so secondary. People don't necessarily always follow it. And you're not going to have the extra earnings premium. So I love trading futures for earnings. I like trading futures at 8 p.m. And when they announce war stuff in the middle of the night, it's fun. Sometimes I can't sleep and I'll stay up late. So we'll have to chat about futures sometime when I'm
Sounds
up and
good.
trading them.
Sounds good.
So
All
yeah,
right.
if
Well,
somebody's been training for 20 years though, I'd be comfortable with you trying anything. You could kind of be somebody I'd really want your insight on. Honestly, if you've been trading for a long time and you're trying out the services, newer to options at least, you know you can get hurt. You're not going to do anything too stupid probably. But
no,
you could be
no.
like, oh, this was harder to understand to somebody who's fresher to options here, or this was really easy. You trade spreads or anything yet?
I've done some spreads. That they're a little newer to me, but I also, you're capping your potential with a lot of the spreads. So I like the directionals because sometimes you're not capping your potential. I mean, it depends on the underlying and how much it's gonna move, right? So um when I read your spreads, like on some of the calls, you're saying you can do an option or you can do a spread. I just kind of get turned off by the limit of the profit that I can make on the spread. I know, silly, but
Yeah, it makes sense though. But like, take this one for example. So I don't want to sit here and watch this trade today for day trading. I actually just saw this and I like it a lot. Oh, that's from this from yesterday. So yeah, they give the same one too. So I don't want to sit here and watch this trade. I want to go about my life. I don't want to worry about the FOMC. So I wouldn't mind dropping 21 cents here to
mhm.
make 50, and then I could just set it and forget it, and
That
not
is
have to
nice.
think
Yeah.
about it. So if you have a lot of different trades going on, sometimes the spreads can come in handy. Or in a market like right now where it's a little bit less easy. And what I do, which you might like or might make you like it more, is when you get spreads, you can go a little bit farther out in time. And then if it goes against you a lot, you sell or you buy back the call that you sold and then keep the naked one. And then that way it kind of softened the blow when it went against you and you can hold the naked one for when it goes for you if it's kind of whips on around. Things like that. So they have their purpose. They're fun
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, I'd like to become an expert in options completely. So, I
Well,
could
you found
see.
the right spot. That's what we do.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be great. So right now I make most of my income from covered calls on another account I have that's big. And that's what got me involved in this type of stuff because that gives me a little bit of a nut, but I want to make the frosting. I want to
For
make that.
sure. You ever heard of a poor man's covered call?
Yes, and I don't understand them well enough because I don't understand. I know you buy a leap for your underlying instead of the stock, but like how far out? And then what happens if you get assigned? How does that get, filled? So I need to do one just to see it through and then I'll understand it.
Yeah, it's literally the exact same thing. So when you own 100 shares, you have access to 100 shares. When you own a distant expiration call, you have access to 100 shares at that price, right? So it's the
Mhm.
same thing as owning 100 shares. So just lose the thought process of it being any different, and then you're just selling covered calls again, just on an option instead of all the shares, which frees up capital for you to do more of it and make more.
Yeah, I want to do that. That sounds good because right now I'm tying up so much capital in my 100 lots of stocks, that,
Yeah. You got
so
100 shares of Meta, $500, so you're looking at like 50 grand sitting there doing
yeah,
nothing.
yeah. Well, I haven't done Meta because it's a little out of it would be too much in my portfolio. I wouldn't be allocating enough to other sectors.
Exactly.
But I was in Tesla and I got out the day before earnings and I thought, you know what, I'm going to sit on the sidelines, which sometimes I don't do that. And I'm so glad I did. I had 200 shares, I would have lost 20 something thousand dollars. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
And so like with Meta, instead of risking 50 grand, you buy a leap that's $1,000, and then you sell a covered call against it once a month or once a week, and you make, 50 to $100 a week or a month on that and make your recurring income by the end of it. You still have the leap too, because you're selling out of the money, buy in the money, sell out of the money. If the market chops sideways or something like that, you're golden. You still have the in the money call, and maybe it went up just a little bit over that year. You'll make the profit from the little bit up and profit weekly and monthly.
pretty
It's a
nice.
much better way than covered
Yeah,
calls.
yeah. My cover calls, that's kind of my thing. I look at it as scalping the underlying stock. So I know I only go one out of the money for my cover calls. And so if it bumps up to that, I get it assigned and I get my premium and then I do it again the next week.
Nice. Yeah, you love the poor man's covered call version though, for sure.
All right, cool. Thanks. Well, thanks. That's all the questions I had. I mean, I'd
Yeah,
like to
check out whatever you want,
do
sign up for
everything.
whatever you want. You sound like you're well equipped, and let me know what you think. If you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks.
Anybody else last chance? I'm gonna try and go grab me a couple futures trades with all these earnings before the market closes at
Hang on, I
5
gotta
for us.
go. I gotta run, Evan. I got contractors here. I'll catch you next time.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
We got a lot of volatility today, Ivan, down to the downside, I guess, and they're staying pat on those interest rates. But I mean, I'm still holding on the B of A, whatever. I mean, it just seems like whenever there's not good news, they just tank a lot. So
Steve,
no, I know. Don't worry. I'm not going to sit here and go crazy.
you
But I
looked
mean,
at the
just
Bank of America. You looked at that trade today? I didn't. Yeah, I haven't looked at anything. But yeah, probably it's probably been volatile. I mean, it was Worsh's first meeting, so like nobody like that's the most volatility you can imagine with anybody else. You know what they're gonna say. You've heard him 100 times. Powell, you've heard him over and over and over again. Like I know this dude's gonna say exactly this, and then he's gonna defer on these questions. And with Worsh, you're like, I have no idea what the heck this dude's gonna say or do. So that's why I kind of stayed chill. And I warned you like 10 times today, Steve. So
yeah, I did see those warnings in the room about it. About it. Next time, I think I'm just going to get a UVXY call or something like that the day before or something. If you mentioned it, it seems
yeah,
like
that
that's
was
the
a nice
safe
money
thing.
printer there. That
Yeah,
is
I didn't.
definitely
I
a safe
didn't get
bet.
in it. Now I'm going to pay more attention when they have these meetings and stuff like that to try and get one if they anticipate negative news. I mean,
Yeah, you would have made back anything you lost on Bank of America.
that's for sure.
Let's see
Anyway,
how did it do. I didn't even look at it. I'm curious now.
I'm keeping it small though. I think it's down 27% today or something.
Oh, that's it.
I mean, it's not super
Wow,
bad, but
that a shit. Nice, very nice.
I mean,
Price
during
target
the week it should
raised.
hopefully rebound somewhat, in due time.
Yeah, I would have definitely bought in at the close if I would have saw it was down that
Yeah.
much.
But you're so busy tied up with a lot of other ones, so I know it's hard to keep track of everything, you know.
Man, I was too busy tied up doing yoga and eating peanut butter milkshakes.
Oh, you would
I
be a
don't give.
healthy guy, huh? The healthy man. Now that's good, though.
No,
No,
that was half sarcasm. I was just not. The point was I wasn't doing anything. I'm
yeah.
not trading this. You gotta learn when not to trade, when not to look, and yeah, go to this learning portal and the art of not trading. There you go. That's the one for you.
Okay.
Learning portal art of not trading.
Yeah, I
There
got
you
to keep up with the news when those things are coming, major announcements. Just to be prepared. Maybe getting a UVXY call or something. So okay, all right. Well, I guess that'll be it, huh?
Yeah, but unless anybody else has any questions, I'm gonna take off here, go catch a couple more bucks, maybe. So, but, all right, I appreciate you guys jumping on. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, or if you try any of those services out, you got reviews, let me know. You got questions, which one might be a good fit for you, let me know, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.